A common misconception most men have today regarding women and wild fantasies is that it's a natural part of life. Most men will give excuses that they are young and full of testosterone, so no wonder why they keep fantasizing about women, prawn, and unhealthy things. The reason you can't stop fantasizing about women is not because you are young and full of testosterone, but rather because you don't get them. Period. Whatever a man doesn't have is what they will fantasize about. Take a homeless person, for example. What do you think they play over and over again in their mind? It's most likely to have a small cozy apartment where they are warm, have some clothes to wear, and so on. Now, here's where things take a completely different turn. Just because some men can't get women, they will opt to hookup culture. They might go to clubs, start having one-night stands, but that only makes your fantasies worse. Why? Because the women come and go. You might have thought, oh, what a wonderful experience I just had with that girl. She was totally into me. But what happens? As soon your one night is over, she leaves and is never to be seen again. If you keep repeating this over and over again, you will truly begin to rot from inside out. You will get used to people using your body and leaving without giving it another thought. This will make your fantasies worse, which will carry on to other parts of your life. For example, your prawn addiction could now get more worse. You would start watching it for longer to try and replicate the one-night stand you had with a girl. Look around you. Most men and women who engage in hookup culture are never truly satisfied. Truth be told, most of them cry themselves to sleep at night because their self-esteem has been damaged so much they have degraded themselves to the point that they are nothing short of a sex toy. Most of these people are mentally unstable and suffer from depression. Right now you may not feel this, especially if you are young, but the shock wave effects of this are always felt down the line. In fact, most of these people have no intention of even hooking up with others. They do it for validation from their friends. Somehow, if you have not lost your V-card, you are not cool all of a sudden. A high-value man, on the other hand, decides which people he lets into his life. And once those people enter in your life, they don't turn around and leave like one-night stands. The people that come in your life will be hooked to you. So going back to the original question, the reason you can't stop fantasizing about women is not because you are young and full of testosterone, but rather because you don't get them. As a high-value, virtuous man, this leaves you with two options. Number 1, monk mode, where you learn to control your mind. Or number 2, find the right woman and marry her. If you want to go monk mode, then there's really only one way to control your mind and stop fantasies that don't serve your purpose, and that's to focus on the solution, not the problem. Simple as that. Every time you try your best to avoid a relapse or to avoid an addiction, you end up putting it on a pedestal. This is also why most men that go too far deep down the red pill rabbit hole find themselves putting women on a pedestal, because they give women so importance that they begin to dominate their life, while a high-value man focuses on building his business, his physique, his social worth. You don't want to spend that time trying not to relapse. So remember this: what you resist persists. The intent of not relapsing makes one relapse. Start by focusing on the solution, which is your purpose. If you go to the gym, then start overtraining if you must. If you are working on your business, then start over working on your business where you spend more hours on it. Be so consumed by the thought of succeeding in that particular area that relapse never crosses your mind. And even if it does pop up, you know that you have a much bigger project you are working on. You motivate yourself to be an artist, for instance. You don't motivate yourself to quit science or maths. Now, moving on to the second solution. Marriage. In today's society, this word haunts every living man. It's a concept that many dread. Why? Because nearly every other marriage fails today. There's no doubt that women and the whole sexual market has become more cutthroat, and every other woman is a feminist. Every other woman has a high body count. Every other woman would rather be a gold digger than follow a virtuous life. Even though that's all well and true, But think about this. You are 50 years old. You see your friends having families and grandchildren having family gatherings, enjoying Christmas together. But where are you? Alone. Learn to look into the future to see clearly. Most red pill coaches will have you believing otherwise. This doesn't mean that you should jump into a marriage right away. But just like you work on your purpose and let it cook to perfection slowly over time, in the same way, take this slow journey of finding the right girl. First work on yourself, then look in the right places. For example, you can't be in a nightclub and expect to find a virtuous, good traditional home wife. So brothers, learn to control your wild fantasies that don't serve your purpose and pluck them out one by one. And don't forget to show some love. Tap that subscribe button and hit like for the algorithm. To see the next best way to level up as a man, watch these videos here.